ladies and gentlemen of Houston and other places in these great United States. With deep sorrow and aching hearts, we all have gathered here to celebrate the life of an exemplary U.S. citizen and ideal human being, Mr. Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal. As most of you know by now, Mr. Dhaliwal served as a Harris County Sheriff's Deputy for the last decade. He was performing a routine traffic stop when the driver of the stopped car followed Deputy Dhaliwal and shot him from behind. He was pronounced dead a short time later. This evildoer was soon taken into sheriff's custody and now awaits trial for capital murder. Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal is survived by 3 young children, wife, and father. Mr. Dhaliwal also supported a beard and a turban as required by his Sikh faith while he wore law enforcement blue uniform. While perfection is reserved by God alone, Sandeep, in the human flesh, endeared to all of us because of his truly outstanding human qualities, such as limitless generosity, uplifting outlook on life, pleasant in his demeanor and behavior, his perpetual smile for all, unending quest of service to others, etc., etc. Service of fellow human beings was the center of Sandeep's life. We will hear about his admirable service in the blue uniform as a Harris County Sheriff's Deputy during the next hour from his colleagues and superiors who observed Sandeep from close range and firsthand. But during this hour, we will focus on his Sikh faith and his faith community. My remarks should provide you some insights that Sikh faith is very compatible with the U.S. Constitution and culture. Because of the religiously required facial hair and turbans, Sikhs are the most visible minority in North America. While we are celebrating the 550th birthday of our founder, Guru Nanak, this year, Sikh religion is still relatively young as compared to the other major religions of the world. There are about 25 million adherents of Sikh faith worldwide. As a percent of the total population, in Canada, Sikhs represent about 2 to 2.5%, which is more than their percentage in India. However, Sikhs are a much smaller minority in the United States, about 750,000, or about 0.2% of the US population. Sikhism is the world's 5th largest major religion. It has its own religious scriptures and ethnic identity. Clearly, Sikhs are readily recognizable with their facial hair and turbans. Throughout history, Sikhs have taken up arms to defend religious freedoms of others and their own. Just like Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal did, many Sikhs now serve in the U.S. military and local and state law enforcement organizations. Captain Simrat Pal Singh, sitting behind me, will highlight their presence here soon, and we will learn from him how Sandeep impacted their lives. Sikhs, through religious teaching and practice, are self-reliant, enterprising, and community-minded, earning an honest living, praying before the universal God, and sharing their blessings with others less fortunate are the three pillars of Sikh religion. For Sikhs like Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal, sharing included service to mankind in many different ways, including natural disaster relief work. He won countless hearts and minds by spearheading the distribution of relief supplies to flooded areas after Hurricane Harvey in South Texas and Maria in Puerto Rico several years ago. The Sikh tradition has a very rich history. Sikhs are a resilient community despite a long struggle of suffering and displacement since the Mughal period. Over the centuries, the Sikhs have developed a deep legacy of defending religious liberty. They believe in ensuring everyone's freedom to practice religion of their choice. Guru Tegh Bahadur, the ninth Guru, embraced martyrdom to safeguard religious freedoms of other than his own religion and protected them from forced conversion. The Sikhs have endeavored to uphold this ideal throughout their history. Such experiences taught Sikhs the strengths of religious conviction and a healthy resolve to thwart tyrannical exercise of state power. Coupled with Guru Nanak's emphasis on honest work, these principles translate into a spirit of fierce self-reliance. The American Republic's traditions of right to bear arms, self-government, free enterprise, and freedom of religion are commitments deeply rooted in Sikh history. Sikh Americans are highly successful businessmen, doctors, nurses, engineers, and lawyers. Most importantly, Sikh Americans proudly serve in various law enforcement agencies and military services of the United States, as Captain Simratpal Singh will discuss further. Today, at Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal's funeral, the Sikh American Institute commits to forging more Sandeeps will defend the life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness of all Americans. The Sikh American Institute will host, fund, train young Sikhs to go to serve in our country's premier law enforcement and military services. As one Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal has been taken away from us, we will give America many more. Unfortunately, largely due to their distinct identity, Sikh Americans have often become random targets of hate crimes and killings. In 2012, as Sikhs prayed in their Gurdwara at Oak Creek, Wisconsin, they became targets of a mass shooting where Sikhs were killed. This was the deadliest attack on Sikh place of worship in the United States. Our lawmakers, like Senator Ted Cruz, do their best to combat evil in our society. However, as Senator Cruz will speak to us soon on Sandeep Dhaliwal's exemplary service and sacrifice, lawmakers' work in this area may never be done. Evil is here to stay from times immemorial. We cannot wish away, we cannot legislate it out. Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal stood for Sikh values, and he exemplified Sikh faith. Even in his death, he has brought a tremendous sense of pride among all Sikhs, Americans, and human beings all over the world. Among the most commonly practiced Sikh values is equality among all men and equality among men and women. Respect, tolerance, and unconditional support of others' religious and cultural beliefs are also central to Sikh religion and culture, which Sandeep practiced during his life, cut short by an evil accession on September 27 this year. Hundreds of you have traveled hundreds or even thousands of miles to attend Sandeep's funeral. Many elected officials at the local, state, and federal level, sitting in front of the first 3 or 4 rows, international representatives, and many leaders of the various Sikh organizations. Ravi is here from Sikh Aid. Sikhs all over the world have heard about his humanitarian and relief work. United Sikhs folks are here there are many other Sikh leaders present and other community leaders to pay their final respects to Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal. On behalf of the grieving Dhaliwal family and the entire concerned population of Houston, I thank you from the depths of my heart for your presence here today. You have made a loud and bold statement that good always prevails over evil. We are sorry that we cannot acknowledge your participation individually or even as groups due to time constraints. However, I assure you that the great soul of Sandeep knows why you are here. Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal's human body, which we just viewed, will be cremated soon. But memory of his prolific service to mankind will be etched in our hearts and minds forever. May God bless Sandeep Singh Dhaliwal's departed soul, all of you, and the United States of America. Thank you.
Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Bless this community and this nation for the love we've seen. On behalf of the Sikh uniformed personnel serving and those that have served previously, including many organizations such as the Sikh Officers Association, they're here to extend our love to our brothers, to the family of our brother in arms. Nothing I say today is going to vanquish the pain. But know this: the sacred cloth of our nation that we wear alongside Sandeep is dyed slightly more red, white, and blue with his sacrifice. Sandeep was a father, a husband, a son, a brother, a proud police officer, a trailblazer, a humanitarian. The dedication he had to serve, protect, and uplift the community is something that we can all appreciate But there's something greater which attracted countless individuals to connect with him and has attracted all of us here today. It's the light of his godly virtues that radiated and shined bright for all of us to see. He was humble, fearless, not dissuaded by negativity. He truly saw the human race as one, and he spoke the language of love. Love which connects us to our core being and our soul, and for many to the source energy, God itself. Love is the language that breaks barriers, multiplies in strength as it is shared, invokes the hidden virtues within us all. It is the love which we witness in his selfless service of others. It's that love that has brought us here today. His warm embrace, his contagious smile, and his unwavering, unrelenting high spirits that has brought us here today. Our Babbar Sher, our lion, may be gone physically, but his legacy of selfless service and of breaking down barriers will continue to live on. He would have wanted us, his brothers and sisters in arms, to keep pushing and to never quit. Our dream is that a Sikh like Sandeep, with his unrelenting love of service, should they choose to don the uniform of this nation, that individual will not have to fight the fight that Sandeep fought to serve with his turban and his beard. His proud service here in the Harris County Sheriff's Department was welcomed in 2015. And that embodies the rich diversity of this city, our nation. And through his service, we must all continue to work together until every government agency in this great nation is open to an observant Sikh to serve. And now I'm going to talk not only to those in here, but to many of those across the nation that are watching, that have bonded with Sandeep through these trying times. We hope you stand ready to stand with us. Every like, every retweet, every share, every applause in every stadium was a resounding endorsement of Sandeep's legacy. We must not forget these endorsements when the inevitable time comes to pick ourselves up and get to work, because that's how Sandeep operated. Someone who walked the walk, modde naal modda, shoulder to shoulder. We are with you and your family, brother. Until we meet again, Rab Rakha, God bless, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.
Sat Shri Akal. Sat Shri Akal. True is the great, timeless one. Good morning. My name is Amy Lasko. Some of you here today may be asking yourselves, who is this girl standing before you and why is she speaking? I even asked myself, why me? What do I have to say? I am simply a member of this community and a volunteer. This is my home. I attended Feast Elementary, Lyby Junior High, Cy Falls High School, and I even graduated from Prairie View A&M. I didn't want to be here today. I didn't want to accept this, that we lost our friend, Officer Sandeep Dhaliwal. When we lost Officer Goforth 4 years ago, it was yards from my home. I, along with all of you, were left in shock and disbelief. Things like that just don't happen here. That very next morning, a group of everyday community members and myself came together as one to organize that memorial and that fundraiser. It was then, under those unfortunate circumstances, that I met our beloved Officer Sandeep Dhaliwal. During those events, Officer Dhaliwal and I spent a large amount of time together. We combined our efforts and our message that we wanted to share with our community and the world who were all listening at that moment in time. They were watching to see how we chose to handle that tragedy. That message was one of unity in the community, of brotherhood, sisterhood, compassion, tolerance, and most importantly, love. During that memorial, Officer Dhaliwal would often nudge me to speak to the crowds. They were small crowds in the evening as people continued to pay their respects. It was nothing like the audience here today. I was hesitant even then, but he would just smile at me and say, "But Amy, you're so good at it. You can do it. We have to share our message. We have to make the people feel better." I know that it is his guiding force that has brought me before you today. When I heard we lost Officer Dhaliwal, once again I was in shock and disbelief. But this time, I also felt anger, because this time I remembered that things like this do happen here. And I don't understand why. And I don't understand why this world is cruel and dangerous and dark. But then I thought back to that memorial where I met Officer Dhaliwal and where I learned what he stood for. It was at that time Officer Dhaliwal taught me the greeting, Sat Shri Akal, because I wanted to greet his father as he visited that memorial every single day, and I wanted to pay him respect. As you have all heard by now, Officer Dhaliwal was a Sikh. He loved to share and educate people about his faith, and I am grateful to have shared many conversations with him regarding this topic. I would like to take this opportunity to share a few key points with you all as I understand them to be. It is my hope that you may all leave here today with a greater understanding and knowledge of the Sikh community and just what this absolutely amazing man stood for. The Sikh community has a deep respect for all people. Sikhs believe in one God, equality, and community service. Sikhs wear a turban, and that turban represents a commitment to equality and justice. 99% of the people you meet wearing a turban are Sikh. Sikhism is a distinct religion separate from Hinduism and Islam. The word Sikh itself means student for a lifetime. Sikhism stresses the equality of all men and all women. Sikhism stresses the importance of self-defense. However, it pointedly teaches not to seek revenge or retaliation, and it teaches observers to be free from hate. Sikhs believe in 3 basic principles: meditating on the name of God, earning an honest living, and sharing the fruits of one's labor with others. Sikh teachings emphasize service to humanity. A guiding principle is to work on one's ego by service to others without expecting anything in return. It is my hope that as you all depart here today, you will take some of these principles with you. I don't know why the world is dark or dangerous or why bad things happen to good people like Officer Dhaliwal, but I do know that he would want us to come together and not give in to the darkness. He would want us to embrace and celebrate our differences, do good deeds, and spread love. When today's services are concluded, I hope that you take a moment to talk to the stranger next to you, say hello, shake hands, and give them a hug. I also encourage you to greet your Sikh neighbor with the words, Sat Shri Akal. Officer Dhaliwal and I, along with many other community members, became great friends over these very same sorrowful circumstances. However, something good came out of a tragedy because I met him, and my world was made all the richer because of knowing him. It is my hope that something good, however small, can come out of this. It is through unity in our community that we will heal our pain and go forward stronger and more united than ever, thanks to Officer Dhaliwal's example. Sandeep Dhaliwal was one man who impacted countless lives within our community, our country, and the world. You too can be a positive difference to our community and the world through mutual understanding, respect, service to others, and most of all, love. Thank you.
We are here today celebrating a hero. We're here today as a community, grieving together, standing together, expressing our unity and our love. Last Friday, Deputy Sandeep Dhaliwal's life was tragically taken in the line of duty. Since we heard the news of his passing on Friday, just a few days ago, there has been a ceaseless stream of commemorations and testimony to Deputy Dhaliwal's character in this community. And upon reflecting on his life, 3 things stand out: his commitment to his faith, his commitment to his family, and his commitment to serve others. Deputy Dhaliwal was deeply moved by his Sikh faith. When he was recruited by the sheriff's office, he petitioned the office to allow him to wear his turban and beard while in uniform, and he became the first to be allowed to do so. He also knew how important law enforcement officers are to our community, how they keep us safe from those who wish us harm. This was also tied deeply to his Sikh faith, as Sikhs take very seriously the right to keep and bear arms and helping those in need. As we've seen today, many Sikhs serve in law enforcement and in the military. And Deputy Dhaliwal answered the call to do that by serving in the sheriff's office here in Harris County. Deputy Dhaliwal was also a dedicated husband and father and son and brother. To his family, especially his wife and 3 beautiful young children, know that this community is with you, supporting you, lifting you up, and we are grateful for your father's service, his sacrifice, and his legacy. We also remember Deputy Dhaliwal's commitment to love and to peace. A love and peace that he showed not only the Houston community, but to each person he served. When Hurricane Harvey struck Houston, Deputy Dhaliwal served meals to those who were left homeless. In the wake of Hurricane Maria, he traveled to Puerto Rico to assist in the relief efforts there. He also worked to deliver water and supplies to Punjab, India, while the area was suffering from a severe drought. He leaves behind an unmistakable and a beautiful legacy of a life marked with service and devotion to others. Many of us here were also at the 2015 funeral of another local hero, Deputy Darren Goforth. I, for one, have been to too many funerals of law enforcement heroes who risk their lives every day. Deputy Dhaliwal visited the Goforth Memorial daily. He urged us, quote, "Just wear blue, and be proud of that. And that shows support to law enforcement, simple as that." It is wonderful, beautiful to see so much blue here this morning. Harris County and all of Texas grieves and mourns for Deputy Dhaliwal and his family. And our hearts are heavy as we bid farewell to him. Know that Heidi and I and all of us in Houston, across Texas, and across the country are lifting up in prayer Deputy Dhaliwal's family and his friends and the men and women in the Harris County Sheriff's Office who served alongside him and who now bear the responsibility of carrying on his legacy. This week, Piara Dhaliwal, Deputy Dhaliwal's dad, said that with his son's death, he's lost a hero. But he will be remembered in this community. And his legacy of selfless service will live on. This community and the entire state of Texas are better for having known him. Houston is the most diverse big city in America. Deputy Dhaliwal embodied that diversity. And he was an ambassador for understanding. Understanding that we need today and every day going forward. May he rest in peace, and may God bless each of you.